Stem is still on it. Brown.
Oh,
I always feel like I get ripped off when I get a shitty avocado.
I know, and this is from Imperfect, so
Oh, well, there you go.
oh, well,
yeah,
then
I mean,
even
it's
more
not-
so.
They, anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I think that you should always have a pre-made type of guacamole mix on hand so that in case you get one of those, you just throw it in the bowl and make
What's a
some.
pre-made guacamole mix?
Oh, Trader
that
Joe's
crap.
sell it it's already made.
The crap that just comes in a packet
You
For
mean
like-
like you have to rehydrate it?
with guacamole. I mean, with avocados, I'm sure it's filled with all manner of chemicals. It tastes delicious.
Mm. I'm
Oh, I
more
was talking about
curious, not because of the chemicals. I'm just curious what I've been missing out on.
I just had like a Trader Joe's, like a little, like they do their hummus and different stuff like that. Is that what you're talking about, or you're talking about actually like dried up something that you sprinkle on?
Yeah, but dried up something that you sprinkle on with like 4 very ripe avocados and smash it, mix it
Oh,
together,
so
and it
even if it's brown, it doesn't matter.
still tastes good. It tastes like the salty
Oh.
goodness of chemicals.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. You could basically put in any base, I think was what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Good to see you.
Yeah,
You.
I'm a little
Hi.
bit late. Hi. Do you
Right,
guys
I'm a
see
little
each
bit
other pretty
high.
regularly, or you're a little bit high?
I have my trusty guide here. I went to get this is my pain chart. And boy, I got stabbed in the neck with some, I don't know, can you see the bandages or are they clear? I don't know what
Oh
they
my
look like.
gosh. Wait, I
Wait,
have no
what is-
idea. You're
does it
cutting
look-
in and out a
does it
tiny
look-
bit. So first of all,
Hold on.
I think you're stoned and you may or may not be. Oh my gosh. And you have like serious bandages on your neck. Yeah.
I went for that thing that I was talking about doing where they do the injections in my neck. This is the first procedure.
Oh,
They shot me up with lidocaine. Holy fucktard. The needles they put in my neck were way bigger than I expected they would be. I mean, I
Oh.
didn't see them, but I could feel them.
Oh, good.
the lidocaine is often more painful, at least in my experience, than the actual
Procedure, whatever it
else.
is.
They put in lidocaine for the needle to put in the stuff to numb the area so they can put a needle in. But then that is more painful because lidocaine it's kept cold and it's really viscous.
Oh,
Oh, there was so much
So they
more.
need a big ass needle to shove it into your
like
whatever.
my neck hurts right now.
Just thinking about it.
Yeah.
They
How do you feel now?
Well, my head feels a little. I'm supposed to turn my head. Like, do I feel nerve pain? What am I feeling? And I just keep track of my pain chart until this evening. But I gotta say, I think having lidocaine that close to your brain makes you like a little dizzy. Anyway, yeah, I could feel that big old needle going in. It was like boop, and then they squirted some contrast in there that touches all the nerves, and then they do that 6 times, and 2 of them really hurt. And then they spray it with that cold spray, like, and then they squirt
So this is with what kind of pain that you've been having?
nerve pain in my neck from degeneration, from years of having a whole lot of fun at the expense of my body and my neck. And you know what I discovered? I discovered this, good Lord, it's got to be like maybe 12 years ago now. Yeah, when you fall as you get older off of a horse, you don't bounce when you're not young anymore. You just hit the ground like a sack of fucking potatoes. And
a sack of fucking potatoes with 5 times more weight than you did as a 12-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I think I weighed the same, but I don't know. I mean, it's just the way that your muscle structure is around your body. Like, can it, I don't know. It just makes me laugh when I think about it.
Yeah, I think Dana actually
So-
does weigh the same amount that I weighed when I was 12.
I was
Thank
the
you
same
both.
height at that time.
Well, when I was 12, I didn't have boobs. Not that they weigh a whole lot now, but
Oh my
I definitely
gosh.
don't
I
weigh
don't think I
anywhere
knew
close.
about this, Dana, that you were having this invasive procedure. I know you've had neck pain, but I didn't know.
When Peter was going through that shit in the hospital and in the nursing facility and stuff, I was just so petrified. I couldn't think about it or talk about it. I'd already been cleared for it, but I
Mhm.
put it off a couple of times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
You got
just need
enough
to.
going on. I'm sure the stress doesn't help with the pain though. My God.
One of the things that I've noticed, and it's so sad to say this, but when I'm not at home, when I'm away from the house and away from Peter for a period of 24 to 48 hours, even that shorter period of time, I start to feel like this release of this
Right.
weight, and
Right.
then I don't have as much pain. So the pain is definitely the stiffness, I think is the way to hold my body kind of always
Yeah.
ready for something.
Yeah, exactly.
So
You're
I
like
I'll be
tensed
glad when
up.
that stuff. Yeah. So this
Well,
is
I hope
really
it
just
offers you some relief.
yeah, I do too. Well, the final procedure will be when they burn the nerve endings. And that ought to be fun. I'm gonna have them knock me out for that. But yeah, I just want to get ahead of all this stuff. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'm 60. I've been living with this for a while. Let's just take care of this stuff so I can enjoy myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because and Dawn keeps dangling this ponies. We keep talking about horses,
I
and
know.
I know that she will go out and join her, and I keep thinking, like, after talking to Rosaline, I keep thinking, like, it's been 30 years since I initially really seriously started thinking about part of the tours that I was booking as a travel agent was I was sending people on horseback riding tours in Europe. And there was one that popped up in Ireland. And I'm like, who does not want to ride a pony, an Irish Connemara pony from pub to pub along the seashore, have somebody deliver your fucking bags for you. You arrive at the hotel, which has a bar downstairs. I mean, or a beautiful country manor. They take your horses, stable them, show you to your room. I mean, I'm sorry, that just sounds so awesome. So I need to get better. I want my neck not to hurt because I'd really like to be able to do something like that
Yeah.
someday.
Yeah.
And you guys should come too.
I'm not quite the pony fanatic that you are, but I could be part of the I don't know, walking, biking.
Ooh, that would be good too. Cycling is
Uh,
also very good.
Yeah. How many
Still prefer
miles does a
ponies.
pony walk in a day?
I'm sure they can walk a lot more than I can bike.
Probably not. But
But
my
I
sister
mean, I
and
guess
her
my point
husband
is if
did-
you're only walking you're walking more than 10 miles though, right?
Yeah, I don't remember how many miles a day the pony. It's been a long time since I gave up on that. Are you kidding? I gave up on that idea like 25 years ago. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. I have got, little kids, 3 little kids, and and a husband that prefers to fly planes over riding horses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of been in the bottom of my bucket list.
Yeah.
I scraped the barrel and it came up.
An Irish friend does that to you.
It does remind you of things that you wanted to do a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm just doing these things while insurance is intact.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
God, because I mean, I honestly, I never thought I'd say I love health insurance, but United Healthcare is really good health insurance. And so I'm going to try to get as much out of it as I can before I don't have it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
my sister and her husband did a bike trip. It was a bike/cooking trip in Sicily,
Ooh.
and it was so perfect. I mean, I couldn't do it now because I'm not in that kind of shape, but we could get there. But the best part is they schlep all your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You ride in the beautiful countryside. and then you get to wherever you're going, which is of course a beautiful whatever. And then you cook with some of the masters.
Oh, you're making
And
me
you cook all this glorious food, like go out into the garden and pick the whatever, and then make this glorious dinner and eat,
That sounds yummy.
and you can eat like fuck because you're cycling all day,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you drink and
Sure.
eat and then do it again
And
the
you go
next
to
day.
sleep and you do it the next day. Yeah.
Mhm.
Same thing. I mean, they have those kinds of packages in Bali too, where I think they're more like cultural things, right? Where you bike
Mhm.
between places and you learn something about wherever you are. And
I like that.
yeah.
I'd really get a kick out of biking from or riding a horse from site to site, from Neolithic site to Neolithic site. That'd be
Mm.
cool. You're riding across the countryside.
You'd be a great person to own a business that offered that to people, Dana.
No, somebody needs to supply me with overhead to create that dream.
You
Yeah.
have a pretty nice office.
So why are you not in the studio today? Because you just had this done this morning?
I had this done this morning, and I
Okay.
have to mark every 30 minutes. I need to mark my stuff, and they told me they didn't want me driving today,
Okay.
which makes sense because I do feel like a wee bit high, like
Mm-hmm.
odd.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. But you'll be able to go, because I know you were looking at October for studio, getting back to the
yeah,
studio.
I did. I had thought, well, I went down there on Sunday, and I spent a couple of hours, really just kind of reading, absorbing.
Mm-hmm.
Decided that I needed to have a cot because we used to have a cot a long time ago, like a sleeping cot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what happened to it, but I'm like, fuck that. We need a new one because we do like to, sometimes when I'm in there, I've been standing for hours and my back.
Yeah, you
hurt.
just want to lay down and.
Yeah. So I bought a cot and I bought a really sweet rumple blanket. Kate has those blankets they're the soft.
Mm-hmm. I
And
got one for Z from Kate and Craig.
I
A
love
rumple.
it. So I think that, that's a really good start to it, and place to read. It'll take me some time, I think, because when I had worked on some fabric and like washed some fabric down, and I have some ideas, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's coming.
Good. Yeah, I mean, you just need to be there and then it'll come. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
good. Good.
I know. I like the change of the season. I always feel like it brings something new, fresh.
It's funny. I went over to see a dear friend of mine who I met at the Unitarian Church. And she was saying just the fall coming on just sends her into a depression. And we've had really gray and cold weather this week. So it's kind of like it was like you turn the page and suddenly it's not this like beautiful sunny fall here. It's like this miserable,
Oh, wow.
rainy. I think it's been like
Yeah.
between 40 and 50 this week. So I've been kind of
You get any
reminding
of the
myself.
hurricane?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where some of the tail
area.
end of the rain came from, I think, was from that hurricane. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I've been kind of reminding myself that people just really react to the seasons so differently. Yeah.
Yeah. It's extremely noticeable how people react and respond. Like Peter suffered from seasonal affective disorder almost from the immediate moment that we moved here. And
really,
I've never, well, I mean, he's a spoiled baby Australian,
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't say it like that. Like, really? Obviously, he's like grown up in like the sunniest place on earth.
Yeah. And for me, it didn't bother me at all. I actually really liked it. I kind of felt like it suited my mood better. Although I did find, Mary, I don't know if you experienced this when you moved here. It took me a little while to get used to the valley cloud cover, because when it really sucks in the winter, the clouds are super low. And if you've been living on the East Coast or something, that's really rare to have clouds that low overhead. And I was kind of like, well, very close. And then I got used
It
to
doesn't
it.
bother me, but
Doesn't
what
bother me anymore.
I miss the really clear Four Seasons, especially in the fall. And
Mm,
I, like your
Mhm.
friend, fall is not my favorite time. I mean, I love the season, but too much bad stuff happened to me.
mhm.
And I
Mm.
just sort of wait for it to be over and then get into December, November and December. But I was telling somebody the other day, my exchange student, about autumn on the East Coast and how here it's like there's a red tree and there's a yellow tree and there's, and then the rest is green or brown.
Mhm.
And I love spring, summer, and winter here. Like the gray doesn't bother me, but I do miss that just, crayon box of color in the fall.
Yeah.
But I
It is
have a pretty cool
very dramatic.
video to share with you guys, and I will send it, but I already sent it to Astrid because she said she wasn't going to be here. And Kate, I sent it to this morning. My sister this summer found these what turned out to be snake eggs.
Are you going to show it to us right now, Mary?
Shall I?
How
I
did
will send you the still.
Don't they usually lay them underground?
Abby said, "Yuck, WTF." I don't know. I know nothing about snakes, and my sister, let me see, sorry. I'm going to send you what I sent to Kate, and then that will be easier.
Oh, so we'll look at it on our phone.
Yes, because I'm just a dummy.
Oh, okay. I have my phone in here.
Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I hate, why can't, I'm just not smart. Anyway,
You are very smart.
I was gonna say, I seriously.
how about
Not that,
tech
Mary, it's
savvy?
just a
Not.
Yeah. I'm having trouble sending a video on my phone, I think is.
Okay, there's the still.
Okay, it may take a
And
minute to come through.
Neato.
So
What are they?
that was 2 days ago. And
And she knew they were snake eggs. It still hasn't come
she
through for
found them
me.
this summer, and when I was there, she showed them to me.
Are these like rat snakes?
They
Or
are.
Old snakes?
She called them black ring snakes or something, and
they
she
garter
identified them by the
snakes?
eggs.
Mhm.
And then, oops, no, I don't want to do that. Stop. Kate said that Google said they were black king snakes, which is very possible.
There you go.
They
Yeah.
grow up and turn black.
Yeah.
And if you look at the length, anyway, so she found these eggs in July or so. So who knows how long they'd been there, but they were in her compost leaf pile.
Oh my goodness.
And so this is, I mean, it's kind of a really amazing story. She sent the still to my brother, and my brother's like, "Yeah, no, do not send me. That's gross. Don't send me the video."
I know, I
don't
was gonna
see it."
say, Anita would be like, even if you say the word snake, she's just like, okay, I'm gonna hang up the phone now.
My God. It's coming out. It's emerging.
So she went
None
back.
of these are coming through for me yet, Mary.
Oh, I sent it to, oh Jesus, I sent it to Astrid again. Yeah, your name is not Astrid. That's me being a dork.
They're really beautiful.
Oh my God, what is wrong with me? There's way too much to even
Little
say,
wee
but,
snakies.
I'm like jealous now. Dana's like so enthralled. I also
No.
kind of find that kind of stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna find it cute, but like I don't
okay,
find it like gross or
then
scary
don't watch
or whatever.
the first one. I will show you the second picture. That is them emerge.
Yes.
But
like,
The amazing thing is it's like a clown car with 15 people coming out of it.
Okay, here it
Um,
just came through. And how big
I
were
would be-
these eggs? Oh, they're tiny.
No, they're like do you know what circus peanuts are?
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
they're a little bit bigger. I saw them. They would look like a,
Oh,
I mean,
wow,
they're
that
dirty
is
and yucky
cool.
there, but they're hard. They're kind of fibrous.
Huh.
Anyway, that was in July. And then she looked them up, identified them by the egg, and it said that they hatch between 60 and or 40 and 60 days or something. So by now it's already way past the 60-day mark. And she
And
ended
she's just
up-
had
she had
them in a bucket? Is this in a bucket?
clippers in her, it's a planter, yeah.
Uh-huh.
She had her clippers in her hand. She clips one of them and looks in, and it's all dried up, desiccated. Like she's like,
Oh.
oh, that one's dead.
yeah.
Puts that down, picks up the other one, cuts it, and it's like amniotic fluid, and she can see, and all of a sudden the snake's head comes out. It comes out, and it like just keeps coming out, as you see by the video. It just like keeps coming out and keeps coming out. And I mean, king snakes are big. They can be like up to 8 feet long or something.
Oh
But
my gosh, that poor little guy to be liberated from that egg. He's
I
like a month too
know.
late.
And my sister's like,
He's
well,
huge.
I'm like the snake doula now.
That's pretty amazing. I wonder why they weren't able to get out. They couldn't get
well,
out
the
from their
other
egg.
ones, there were, I think she said like 8 or 10, and all the other ones were gone. And then these two, and the other one, after the first one starts coming out, starts emerging, and he has no amniotic fluid, no, like the
my God.
placenta's not there, nothing.
He ate it.
He probably did, but was
Wait, a
enough to
snake
have him
has a
survive.
placenta?
They have, I mean, she was like the
Like, what is
The-
it hooked onto? The eggshell? It's getting some kind of nutrients from the eggshell?
it's hooked up to the snake.
Wow. Oh, the other photo.
It's
that
like
I
the
sent-
you can see the amniotic
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw
whatever
that.
thing.
Amazing. The photo that I sent, I don't know if you guys got it, was of my friend Gretchen when we were camping 3 years ago at Ripplebrook, and we found this adorable garter snake, and
Oh my god.
well, we hung out with it for a little while.
Oh, it's not coming through for me either.
That's pretty big.
Let me see if it should be. It just came
You've
out.
got an
Oh, no,
iPhone,
because
though.
you sent it to the one that I sent to Astrid and you.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Hold on, Laura.
It's just a comedy of errors. Mary.
Oh my god. Oh.
Oh, wow. But she wasn't, so when she clipped it, did she feel scared or panicked? Did she like throw
She
it
said
down
she
or?
dropped it when it started moving.
Oh,
Because it, you know, like she didn't know if anything was in there. And the first one was all dried up, and then the second one,
Oh, look at that
when the head popped
Gretchen.
out, she kind of backed off. But my brother-in-law was like, yeah, no, like there's no
Well,
part of
she's-
any of that I want to be a part of.
She's brave to pick up a snake because even if they're not poisonous,
yeah.
they can still get you.
Well, the
Oh,
three things
this
of
is a garter
poisonous
snake.
snakes
I mean,
are
I know, but they still can.
if you've been bitten by a chameleon, it's about the same thing. It doesn't hurt that bad. But
Well,
no, he
these
was
guys-
sweet.
these guys aren't poisonous, but they have the 3 characteristic of poisonous snakes. One is pointy head. I forgot the second one is kind of a funny term.
Yeah,
but
like a
it
diamond-shaped
goes all
head.
the way around.
Yeah.
The circle, the stripe goes all the way
Mhm.
around, and then something else. I can't remember what the other thing is. And they have all 3, but they're not poisonous. But they're
Did you
also
say they're rat
poisonous.
snakes?
They're rats. She
King
called them
snakes.
rat snakes.
Rat snakes and king snakes, I think, are the same thing. And I think the
could
reason
be,
they look
yeah.
like that when they're young is to keep predators away from them. But they don't have the pits on the side of their heads that the scary ones from our childhood were,
Mm.
man, that was my one. I don't know about you guys, but one of my first lessons in being outside from my dad was about snakes.
I mean, I grew up in
You know-
Missouri, so yeah, like copperheads were the big one for
Ooh.
us.
Did you guys have
And then of course in Indonesia it
Sometimes-
was the little cobras.
Cobras.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cobras. Baby cobras.
And they're the really scary ones, right?
Well, I mean, I think they can jump about 5 feet or so. And you know, so
Fuck
they're
that.
they're
Those
like
are
you
the
you like
snake's armor.
you pull the door open and it's there's a little baby cobra and suddenly it's like jumping down at you
Better
or whatever.
Yeah, you surprising them is a bigger threat than
I think it's
them
often,
surprising
I
you.
mean, I think in Indonesia, I don't know, I can't recall that I ever saw one directly, although definitely we heard a lot of stories about it, but it was often a pet, you know, a dog or a cat would get
Right.
bitten by them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that was I think I was the most afraid of water moccasins. Because they're aggressive
Yeah.
and they'll come out.
Hmm.
And we
Plus, if
used to
they're in
hang
the
out.
water and you're swimming, you can't. I mean, I don't swim fast enough.
Oh fuck no! And they swim wicked fast.
Yeah, I
and
was gonna
they're,
say.
like, way across the water, and you're just like, no. So they have them. They have them from Florida all the way up to Virginia, and along
Yeah.
with those damn
I don't
alligator
know,
snapping
snakes
turtles.
just shouldn't be in water.
I don't mind
I
snakes.
disagree
I
with
just
that.
don't like the surprise. I don't like to be surprised by them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you know what I'm curious about? And this is kind of off snake topic, sort of, but not really. So what about all those damn pythons that they have wild in the Everglades? Where are they? Have they all been? What the fuck did they do? And where are they now? Did they hunker down under logs? Did they get sucked down into the sea?
Ooh. You mean the hurricanes effect on them?
That's a wicked invasive species. I mean, it's done some really bad stuff to Florida native wildlife. I'm
I have a
curious
feeling those
about how.
pythons are probably like rats and cockroaches. They're going to be
Ugh.
around longer than any of us.
Oh yeah.
Because those
Yeah, you're
are
prob-
those are ones that are not native, right? Those were
Yeah.
introduced by Floridians.
By all
Yeah.
the weirdos that have snakes as pets.
Oh no. You know, snakes and birds. I don't want to keep anything like that. I mean, I know birds are beautiful. They really are, but I think they need to be outside.
Birds are
Um,
beautiful, but my neighbor has a bunch of like big snakes. I don't know what kind they are, but they're big.
No.
And I think she had at one point had 10. And they have giant cages for them and everything. But she would bring them outside all around, like going around her. All I could think of is salmonella. Abby, don't touch it. But she treated it like it was a purring cat.
Yeah. I always used to feel that way about those people that would bring their lizards for show and tell to the kids' elementary school. And they're like holding this peeling creature. And I'm just like, ooh, no.
Okay, so when I
That's got the
Googled
germs
real
all-
quick what happened to the pythons in the hurricane, the first thing that comes up is that one of the buildings affected by the hurricane was a breeding facility for Burmese pythons, and many
Oh
of
my
them
God.
escaped. Thousands of specimens of exotic species escaped their cages and enclosures during the passing of the storm through Dade County.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, that's where my nephew lives
So
in Dade County.
worse. Oh my God. What is wrong with people? Really?
It's like the Tiger King, the Snake King.
Oh my gosh. And then
There
the
is some-
next question, I mean, you should never go down a rabbit hole with pythons in Florida. The next question is, how much can you get paid per hour to hunt pythons? And then there's an
Oh,
actual
yeah.
I bet a whole lot more today.
$15 per hour for up to 10 hours each day.
Yeah, no thanks.
You like to shoot stuff, and that's a great way to do it.
Do you think that's how
What an
they get them?
opportunity.
Is they shoot them?
I'm pretty sure they probably get them any way they can, right?
I mean, I
I
blow
mean-
dart.
I mean, I know people like make
Pillowcase.
stuff out of them. Like people like
Take it over to the
sheepskin
neighbors that you don't
some
like.
snakeskin shoes.
Yeah, when I
Snake-
was a Girl Scout in Missouri, it was protocol if you saw a copperhead to stop, because they were usually just asleep on the path or whatever, was to stop and
Mhm.
then, you know, blow a whistle or some kind of a signal, and somebody would come running with a shovel and kill it.
just walk by it.
This is
That's
1978.
what I
Well, Abby, now that you say that,
And
Abby,
And
when
once
she
that
was-
happened to me, I can't remember if I was the kid with the shovel or the kid who saw it, but I remember seeing one.
traumatized.
I don't know that I was particularly traumatized. I
Mm,
mean, it's not particularly gruesome to cut a snake in half, as you guys know. I mean, they do both ends wiggle.
Right.
no,
Abby
I got pissed off at a neighbor.
was at camp, but she was like a counselor in training, so it wasn't a full counselor yet. I think she was 14 or maybe
Mhm.
15, whatever. And they went on a river raft overnight with the kids. And they gave them really strict instructions because there's a lot of snakes out there and some are poisonous. And they were sitting, or what it was. Anyway, they were sitting there and somehow somebody saw either a copperhead or whatever. I don't remember what kind it was, rattlesnake probably. I think it was a rattlesnake. Anyway, the staff killed it. And then they cooked it and ate it, but they couldn't feed it to the kids, which I'm not unhappy about. But
Mhm.
Abby was like, yeah, no, I'm a counselor in training. I can't, you know. But apparently snake meat is very tasty. Tastes like chicken.
Yeah, everything.
Everything.
You barbecue it, right?
They cooked it on the fire. So
Or like, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
grill it. Yeah, grill it.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
have never, I have to say, never had it and don't really have a whole lot of interest.
Don't plan on it.
I can imagine that it's like super chewy. I mean, I know you take the skin off, but still.
What you mean, like calamari? Like it's like chewing on a
Probably because
styrofoam.
there's no bones, right?
Mm.
I was thinking it would be like
That's not me.
flaky like fish.
Why don't you give it a try and let us know?
Or
No.
not.
The one time I got a snake to somebody when I think I was in the 5th or 6th grade. And it was like a bull snake that was just cruising across our front yard. And of course I was like, wow, look at that. I was like, this is so cool. And I'm following it. And then their neighbors, I was like, hey, look at this, you know, and Colonel whoever the fuck walks over and he's like, oh, that's no good. And he goes and gets a hoe and fucking kills it. And I was like, okay, I'm never telling anybody ever
Right.
again.
Right.
I was like, why did you do that? I was watching it. I don't know.
That is sad.
It
That
didn't-
is sad. I mean, a
Yeah.
copperhead was definitely because it could have killed a Girl Scout, I think.
Surprised that anybody would really want to get that close to a copperhead. I mean, whether it's sleeping or not. Because the ones that I've seen were big, like fat
Mm.
snakes on the other side of the creek. And I was happy that it stayed over there.
I don't remember it being so big, but I mean, we definitely did have like the snake identification cards. You would never do that to a non-poisonous snake.
Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful though. Copperheads, their
Yeah.
coloring is spectacular.
Mm.
I'm not sad that I don't really, that all I have to worry about is rattlesnakes, which I hope never to come across.
Do they have them here or just in the high desert?
I think they have them in the high desert, and I've had people say that they'll come halfway up the mountain on the eastern side, but they're not halfway up the mountain. They don't like it up high where it's cold like that, I don't think. But I know that Kate said, hello, Kate. I'm reminded of the rattlesnake that you guys caught when you were fucking on the Deschutes River fishing or where.
Exactly. I was gonna say, I've heard,
Like,
I very
oh,
recently heard a rattlesnake story from
God,
Oregon.
no. I would
Mary, you
shit
haven't heard
myself
that
if I
story?
saw-
No.
That's the last thing you want to see is one
Okay,
flying
well,
through the
ask,
air. And
yeah, ask Kate to tell the story because she'll tell it better than either Dana or I can.
Okay.
The rattlesnake fishing story.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, shall we get going today?
Sounds good.
Yes.